them talk shit. Anybody that's their personality, let them do it.
I think
because if you take it away from them,
a certain amount of nature to you as a fighter. You got to let a fighter be himself to a degree, because being comfortable also is part of being a top fighter and being at your best.
it could also be detrimental, though, right? I mean,
it could be detrimental. I mean, you're gonna shorten your career. Don't get me wrong, but at least you'll be a shooting star. It'll sure last shorter, but I remember specifically being in camps like in Vero Beach and being so depressed. I feel like old people. I was like, I feel like people come here to die. What am I doing? I'd be like Monday months for camp, and my performances were speaking for themselves. They weren't good. I just felt like I was out of my element. I just didn't feel comfortable, And so I feel like I really believed ever since then. You gotta feel comfortable in your training element, and just be comfortable within yourself to be a very good fighter.
Paulie, when did you know you were going to have a career after boxing in boxing as a commentator?
I didn't.
When did it kind of hit you like, yeah, I could do
question.
I didn't. When I got hired. I didn't.
You ever worry about getting fired because what you say in the air? Because we live in such a politically correct society.
Listen, man.
I remember when the point I thought he's got a career in this is when he said to me, I've got so many plans to beat Ricky Hatton. I've got plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, and off he went. And I went back and confusion. I'm thinking, I'm confused what he's going to do. You know what? He's brilliant.
Obviously, I didn't have enough plans. I didn't have enough plans that night.
Do you still remember your first commentating gig?
I did some small shows and guest spots and whatnot. But I remember the show that got me the job at Showtime was Canelo versus Osito Lopez. I remember I got hired on the spot. I remember they were doing guest spots for different fighters every week because Parva had been taken away from the company. So I felt they were like calling different fighters every week. So they just called me, and I was like my turn to be a guest. It wasn't like they were hiring me. So I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. And I got hired on the spot. We went off the air and I got hired right then and there. I was like, changed my life, and it was like I didn't see it coming at all. Which fighter gives the best interview that you've sat down with? I don't know. If you want a guy who never runs out of ideas to talk, Bernard Hopkins. I remember a fighter meeting with Bernard Hopkins.
Took forever.
A fighter meeting with Bernard Hopkins. We asked one question, and he talked 45 minutes straight.
Yeah.
To the point where Nazim Richardson was falling asleep next to him.
He drove me to Philly.
We didn't even get to ask anymore.
Bernard drove me from Philly out to his house somewhere outside of Philly for like an hour and a half. And I don't think I asked him a question. He talked the entire time. He's one of a kind. We better get in.
All right. Let's get in. Thanks, Paulie.
You got it.